So to complete this portion of the lesson, what we want to do is we want to get rid of a bunch of the content and things like that. We'll keep one or two of these panels and get rid of a bunch of the code. Clean it up, make it easier to work with. So let's go back to Dreamweaver and let's take a look. And what we can see is we have a class of color. This is what you want to do. One of the things you want to do when you're looking at people's code is, right, we have a class of color and then no color, which is what's causing the blue. And to be sure about that, what we can do is we can say white panel, and let's put in blue panel. Because what we're going to do, what we're trying to do now is we just want to break this down to the bare minimum so that all we have to do is work with this and start actually creating our app. So we could say, panel content, and do the same thing down here. Copy and pasting is not a bad thing. So we can put that, oops, looks like I didn't get it. And I got a stray C. So stay clean, stay clean. Panel content. Let's go ahead, copy that. We want to be able to define our different colored panels because we'll use them in our application to break up information. And so we'll put this in there as well. And since we have a section class color and a section with no class color, at this point we're just going to go ahead and we're going to collapse these other sections, which will make it easier for us to actually remove them from the layout. So we're going to remove that, and if you can see, we have a bunch of wonky tags now. It's always a good idea to go ahead and clean up your tags. Make sure, like, I don't like how that main is in there. I don't like how this is getting indented. But before we do anything more about it, let's save it and let's go out and let's just take a peek and make sure. Good. We have a white panel, we have a blue panel, we have our footer. We don't really need to do anything to that right now. We'll get rid of this information just out of respect to the developer. So we'll go ahead, we'll look up here. That's our title, our inside out. And let's do dash HTML5. Go ahead and update that in your file as well. And let's go down here and we have the opening of the body. Then we have our div. Then we have our header. We have our H1. Let's go ahead and put our site name in there, inside out. Then we have our nav. Since we're developing, yes, it's nice to have code kind of broken down tight, and but in this case, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and just nest our code, make it readable, make sure that we can see what is what, make sure everything is where it needs to be. I don't think we need the excessive commenting yet. We don't want to add too much to our code because we want to be able to see it. But what we do want to do, and it makes perfect sense to do so, is to make sure that your code is very clean, so that you're not starting off with some crazy convoluted piece of code that just starts off with you being confused about what is what and what is where. So as you can see, I'm cleaning up, and I expect your files when I've used source to look the same. Taking the time to do this now. The formatter, there's different tools out there that'll do this. I guess when you're old, you're old school sometimes. So it is a good idea to use the tools. I'm just trying to not waste time and go out and hop on tools. And I would love to go ahead and use the code formatting tool in Dreamweaver, but I'm fearful if I did that it would blow everything up on me. So we can see we have a main div and we have a content div. The main div is basically acting as a wrapper in itself, separating content from the same level as the header. Not a big deal. We might change that later. We have our wrapper, which is inside our body, and our wrapper does exactly what it says. It's wrapping the entire body of the web page, which is excellent. We want that because we want to be able to reference different things throughout the page, because that's how we will be updating it, which is another reason why we're really just looking to make the page as super clean as we can. Is that inside the main? Nope. So that is not inside the main, so it's at the same level as the main. I always try to make sure that I'm at the same everything's indented the same so that there's no confusion about what is what. All right, so now we'll come down here and we're going to clean this footer up as well. Part of cleaning this footer up, we can actually try this on here. Footer, I think we can get the whole thing in view here. That's a pretty big footer. Let's go through and let's just do it like this. Come down to the bottom of the footer, and let's see how our formatter works. Apply source formatting. We'll come down. Looks like it did okay. Kept a couple things out. Not sure why. That actually set the footer up weird. So let's just do it the right way. All right, screwed everything up. So I just undid what I did with that formatting tool and going to go in and clean this up as well. I'll go ahead and pause it and finish cleaning this up. All right, so I went ahead and I cleaned that code up. You don't have to worry. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It's just a matter of the cleaner it is, the better it is to work with. And so what we're going to do, though, to reduce a lot of the clutter is we're going to come in and we're just going to replace a lot of these. We can leave that. Leave that. We'll just change that to US. Get rid of specific. We definitely want to get rid of specific information. That's fine, leaving those links. They're just to Facebook. And at this point, that closes our wrapper. That's our script. Our script. And our script. So at this point, that's how our code should look. I'll go ahead and take a screen grab of it then and put it out there for you. And this is what you should be handing in for this section of Inside Out project. Our next step, we're going to add some more JavaScript and put things together a little more and actually do our first Ajax call as well. Let's go out and take a peek just so we can see the final product. We don't get this scrolling, so that's not good. So let's go ahead and we'll go back and we'll actually, we want it to be, we'll just put some content in there because we want to be able to scroll so that we can make sure that the header is working correctly as well. Yeah, we put a lot of content in there. That's good and fine now. Not a big deal. So we'll use it like that, and that's what we want to be turning in for the step 100 of the Inside Out project.